James with Mana Talk, Mana meaning power, talk meaning going on out there. It's up to you to decide if anything you're hearing from me or it's mainstream media or Rumble or whatever. It's up to you to do your own due diligence. It's up to you to do your own investigating. You know, I think it's your right to do it. You know, that's your First Amendment right to for the freedom of speech, so that you can find. It's still there. Look, we only got 34 days left until Trump gets inaugurated. I'm telling you, most of this shit's just going to disappear. It's just going to go away. I've debunked it. I've, on many occasions, told you the reasons why they're doing it. And maybe I should start with that. So, big pharma, big hospital, big psychology, in the pharmaceutical industry, they make a lot of money off of mental illness. And they make a lot of money off of the fact that a lot of the foods that we eat, the overprocessing of a lot of foods, we're talking cereal, spices. I mean, I showed you guys, I have organic pepper, McCormick pepper, and then I have the same can of, I should have brought it out. I'll show it to you later. But there shouldn't be organic. Everything should just be pure. It should be straight from the ground, from the grove to us. Meat. You process things, and if you drink soda pop all day long, and you're full of sugar like many people are, in, you know, West Virginia and the South and throughout, you know, all over the place. I mean, my son drinks. You know, you are what you eat. You know, you are what you eat. And I'm not a vegetable, so I'm not a vegan. That's for damn sure. I like my steak and eggs. I like lobster. I can pretty much eat anything. But the thing that I'm getting to is there's so many variables. There's so many different things that are coming at people, altering their ability to process, think of things, not just their influence from their parents, their family, their immediate surroundings, their neighbors, their friends, their society. Television, cable, Disney, you know, ESPN, CNN, Fox, you name it, PBS. I mean, all this stuff bombarding your brain for so long. It's really, it's overwhelming. The brain right now, I mean, this is what I like to do is I like to go outside, light my little stupid smoke, and I just puff it basically, and I sit there. It's like a cigar, but I'm out there at night. I don't turn on the porch light. I just like it kind of somber and dark, you know, and I don't need flashing lights anymore. I just like to just get a little time to myself and just kind of take a deep breath, go outside. I'm not talking about just taking off your shoes and walking in the dirt. I'm talking about just getting out and just getting away from the craziness. People are affected in certain ways with their bodies and their diets and the things that they're processing. But there are people out there that are just a different way. And I'm okay with the different way. I'm okay with people experimenting things. I'm okay with people enjoying everything that all the senses of the body has. And according to Snork, there's more than just 5. There's a bunch of other senses in our bodies that do some pretty interesting things. But the thing is we grow to be that. We test market everything. Our minds look at certain things and they challenge different realms of or groups and different, you know, cultures in certain areas that are gathering, and just, do I want to hang around with the gatherers? Do I want to hang around with the farmers? Do I want to hang around with the you know, anybody? Then you can go, do you want to hang around with the surfers? Do you want to hang around with the jocks? Do you want to hang around with the wrestling team? Do you want to hang around, you know? And it transitions over time as you get older. Do you want to hang with the chess club? Do you want to hang with the math club? Do you want to hang with the debate club? Do you want to hang out with the golfers? You know what I mean? It's a part of growing, and it's hard in this day and age for a lot of people to kind of get that in themselves and find out who they really are, which honestly, some people don't find out until they're like 30, 40, 50. The world, what's my modus operandi, or who am I? I'm just a guy doing a YouTube. Started doing it until 2017. I'm on my 6th channel. I had 5 of them taken down since 2020. Trying to expose a lot in regards to their freedoms. Their freedoms. I'm all about the Declaration of Independence, 100%, our constitutional rights. And I am that guy during the graduation of San Diego Naval Training Center in 92, 91, 92. That's when everybody has to pick what they want to do, or you can vote, And I said, I'll do the flag stuff. I mean, why not? So I trained for the first half, and I was in one of their, the class numbers before us. And then I became the sergeant of arms to train the upcoming class. And being the guy in front of all the 50, and I was in charge of 50 freaking dudes, holding 50 flags, and I held the flag at the end or towards the middle of the ceremony, which was the American flag. And that's why my flag hangs in front of my house. It always has. Pretty much always has. Yeah, I was that guy. Yeah, so I have a deep feeling for that. Not too proud of, and a lot of things I am proud of. But let's get back to it. So in the military, I remember it was like don't ask, don't tell, right? According to Clinton, which is whatever. But then we had, out of my company, there were 83 people that started. 81. I think it was 81, 84 or 81. Something like it was just a little over 80 that started in my company in boot camp in Naval Training Center, San Diego. And at the end, when we graduated, there were 38 of us. And that's pretty much the norm. A lot of people get popped for drugs. A lot of people can't make it through the first or second week or a few days. Some, they didn't kick you out if you were gay. You just didn't say anything, right? But you kind of knew who the fruit balls were, or who was gay, or whatever they swing, whatever. But the thing is they made sure that the most fiercest fighting force was made up of the most fiercest fighting men. Not somebody that we have to change the whatever training tests or physical stuff we have to do, or if somebody's overly emotional. You had to be fucking just tough to finish. You just had to be you had to make it through boot camp in the fucking 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then all of a sudden you had to fucking be tough. And that's what you want out there, protecting your borders, protecting your country. Standing that wall. You want the guy that can, or the girl, that can hold their own. 33 whatever days left. But let me play this and kind of tell you what's going on. There's the NCAA, what's the guy? He's fucking awesome, is questioning what's going on. So let's listen up.
The sports of the NCAA overseas. Did you say the federal law requires the NCAA to permit biological men to play in women's sports?
No, I said there have been 5 cases in federal court in the past.
NCAA couldn't take a position on this. In fact, you have taken a position on it. You're affirmatively permitting biological men in women's sports. But you said to him it's because of federal law. There's no federal law that requires it, right? The relevant federal law is Title IX, is it not? You're familiar with Title IX.
If guidance on this issue from Title IX or guidance with respect to discrimination.
Section 1681A. By the way, let's just dispense with that canard. No federal court has ordered the NCAA to include biological men in women's sports, right? There's not a single case that has ordered the NCAA to do so, correct?
That's pretty much what they decided in the San
No, don't
Jose
say pretty
case.
much. We're talking about the law here.
Yes,
and
I know.
And you actively dissembled to Senator Kennedy just a second ago. It's not true that the NCAA has been ordered by any court, number one. It's not true that federal law requires you to include biological males. In fact, Title IX explicitly says no person in the United States shall on the basis of receiving federal financial assistance. You are in court at this moment arguing that Title IX doesn't apply to the NCAA, which is astounding to me given the amount of money, federal money, the NCAA gets. But let me just ask you this.
Senator,
a total of 5 teams, 5 women's volleyball teams, Wyoming, Southern Utah, Utah State, Nevada, and Boise State, all forfeited.
It's too. I've got to show you this too, though, real quick. I think I put it. Let's see if I got it here. Of course I. Yeah. Ready to go, and it's disappeared. Interesting. Let me check something here.
I am so.
I gotta go here now. Is this one? Yeah.
That you need to arrive, not just
Better grant. You guys watching this? It gets better. Let me tell you. it's hard not to laugh, son. 50 states,
50 grants, 5,000 voices. This grant hands out 500,000 in grants to middle and high school.
500,000 in grants to middle and high school
Across 40 states and Washington, D.C. The goal? To amplify LGBTQ plus voices and the It Gets Better project. 50 states, 50 grants, 5,000 voices. This grant hands out 500,000 in grants to middle and high LGBTQ plus voices and.
If you had up to 10,000 to make your school better for LGBTQ students, would you do? What would you do? Fuck.
Creative initiative environments. So there's money out there for all.
There's money out there for everybody. There's money out there for everybody. You guys understand what I'm getting here? This is to take that money in from their donors, from the lobbyists, because they know that's going to get them reelected. That part's a no-brainer. But it also helps contribute gender-affirming care. Right? It helps big pharma. Wait, first, big psychology first, because the first thing most parents are going to do, well, you know what, just their therapist or counselor first. And the first thing they're going to do, especially if the nurse at the school is part of this $10,000 program, and she can get part of this money. She's a TQ. It's better, right? First thing they're going to do is they're going to say, well, you need to take him to who I recommend. That person recommends. They start putting them on in the freaking stomachs of these monstrous big pharmaceutical companies and their big hospital to hopefully get them to go to surgery. You know, we're talking. I don't know about you, but that's fucking just bullshit. There it is. I was looking for it, and that was right in front of my face. So let me go back and show you the colleges.
Utah, Utah State, Nevada, and Boise State all had to forfeit 7 games.
Oh, this is the same conference. These other colleges didn't want to play San Jose State that had a fucking dude on there.
In their conference play, NCAA conference play this past year, women's teams, because a biological male under your rules was playing on a rival's team. How is that not denying them the benefits of the sport? Why is this fair?
There he is. Honorable Charlie Baker. I don't know why it's honorable.
Judge sided with participation.
See, listen, he's bringing up just woke cases.
No, the NCAA did not go to court.
No,
that is not true.
The federal judge made the decision with respect to the issue you just raised.
In women's sports. And I am asking you, why is that fair to the women?
To make a long story short on that guy, he's just a piece of shit. Do you guys remember this story?
Let's support.
What has it been like to be Leah Thomas?
Wait. Just a second. Look at this interview. Look at this interview. What's wrong with this picture? Right? And this was like a push piece, positive piece for Leah Thomas, which we found out later was she got stripped of everything. Or he got stripped of anything. If you tell me that there's a man, let me bring up another man.
Brighter when Laurel Hubbard stepped out to lift.
First attempt, Laurel Hubbard, New Zealand.
Hubbard is the first transgender woman to compete at the Olympics, and her participation has been contentious.
The artist's stance is to make sure we get the right balance between inclusion and then fairness and safety.
Her competitors didn't want to speak about it.
What do you think it means to have the first transgender athlete compete at these games?
I personally won't say anything about that because I know it's a big issue going around about it.
Hubbard used to compete in women to compete at the Olympics, and her participation has...
That's a her. Find another one here, okay? Oh, here's a good one.
Auger, a transsexual and supporter, claims it's about acceptance, not indoctrination.
The idea is to teach kids that there are gay kids and there are trans kids and there are trans parents and gay, to teach the following of our laws, right?
Simpson disagrees, saying she sees Soji's real goal as
altering our culture from a heteronormative society into one where anything goes, no boundaries, no values, no morals.
Predator class are pedophiles. They want pedophilia to be good. They want people to think it's okay.
Basically what they're implying.
Another blaring
there's a good one. That was in October 2020.
Example, drag queen story time. It's happening in Canada and America, where some public schools and libraries invite drag queens. Some dress like torn.
Everybody okay? It's a fucking dude reading a book to a child about sexually explicit content. That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck what the fuck he's wearing or whatever. It's the books, right? It's the books that we don't need in our schools. We don't need people. Look at his nice big old hairy arms. Fucking Jesus. Let's get a bigger look at that because that's just crazy, man. Look at that. Oh, there you go. That's what your son or daughter at the age of, how old are these kids? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Let me see. Let me look at this real quick. Yeah, they're like toddlers, for fuck's sakes. Right?
Schools and libraries invite drag.
These are little babies. What the fuck, people? That's fucking insanity. Well, there's a group out there just letting you know that's against, okay? Gays Against Groomers. Okay? They're also supporting Nancy Mace here. Gays Against Groomers supports Nancy Mace's fight for single-sex spaces. In other words, if you're a guy, you go in the guy's bathroom. If you're a girl, you go in the girl's bathroom. I just can't believe having this conversation. This is what's fucking tripping me out. This is what tripped me out. Because I'm giving you the information you need to look up on how much money they make from mental illness. When somebody that's 4 or 5 or 6 says, there's a fucking guy that was on CNN the other day. He said, we don't know. Cuckoo. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo fucking cuckoo. But there's a reason for it. So, it also does this. And this is the biggest part. This right here, these 2 holes, don't make babies. These 2 things slapping together, then depopulation is not a joke. It's real, and they're doing it now. If you've taken the fucking Vahazine, if you've taken it, and sadly I have to speak in tongues or something to fucking say the word, and you're 18 to 35 years old, go get a sperm count. Just go get it. If you've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe you've had your 5th or 6th booster. Some people are fucking 8 or 10. What? My God. Yeah, go get it's all part of the plan, people. It's all part of the plan. And once you start to realize that this entire thing fits into every piece of their cog to create this world of less of us and at least 2/3 of the planet's population. It's everywhere. Go to the Deagle report. A lot of people are already talking about it. I've been talking about it since 2020. I listened to Bill Gates. I listened to World Economic Forum, see what they're talking about, what's going on, and it all went ding, 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 ding. Just this fucking cowbell went ding, 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 ding. And just all of a sudden, I just fucking got it. They just want it all for themselves. They don't want to fly off to space. They want to keep what they have here, and they don't want you a part of it. They want to get rid of you. You're going, well, why would they want that? They have control over. They, meaning the unelected global pedo-predator class, these fucking sick fucks that are much more powerful than people you think. You think Bezos is fucking powerful? You think Elon Musk is fucking powerful? For years, some of the bloodlines, some of them have been granted these powers. This is there's cultist shit happening. But it's basically just a bunch of assholes being a bunch of fucking assholes. That's it. Bottom line. Whatever clan, theism, dogma they like, or fucking group, or society, or orgy they like fucking with it. They're just a bunch of fucking assholes. That's it. So there's these bunch of fucking assholes that just want to take over everything. They don't want you around. You're in their way. You're in their way. I'm telling you. That's what Event 201 was about. Other past pandemic simulations that they had in the past. This is the one that stuck. And this is what I've been proving since 2020 and why I'm on my 6th fucking YouTube channel. Because this is how they're doing it. Right? And the person that's in their way And a lot of people get it, and sadly, there's about 30 to 40 million people in this country that don't get it. And sadly, their bloodline's going to be gone soon, sadly. You know, they did it to themselves by taking their fucking boosters and all this other shit. Right? So this is happening.
Queens, some dress like torn demons to read to young children.
And it's a social deconstructionist agenda. They're using children, little 5-year-olds, to accomplish this. And parents are waking up and saying no.
When asked about parents' rights, Auger says,
Well, actually, in Canada, parents' rights are limited and children's rights are put ahead. So the child has a...
Wow. This pedophile, sick motherfucking man. Just don't even get me started. I'm just going to jump away from this because I can go on this forever. So here's some of the videotape. Sports. Watch this. Male ripping the body, ripped her arm. You guys are watching this. Oh shit. Come on. Let me go back. Concussion. That girl had a concussion. This girl's arm was dislocated. She couldn't get up. Her back, her body, her butt.
So I want us not to be enforcing, but prevent the situation like that where girls actually get hurt by males, biological males playing sports. I mean, it is really unbelievable for me that this is an issue that we cannot stand with women and girls on, because it is so hard. As I said, just be honest. Boys, natural biological boys have more, have advantage.
Yeah, remember this story?
Millions of viewers with jaw-dropping performances and compelling storylines. But in recent days, controversy surrounding the gender of one boxer has also consumed headlines. William Brangham has that story.
Algerian boxer Iman Khalif.
Her opponent was also a transgender boy. So the first and second medal went to these fucks right here. No, not that one. Just beating the fuck out of women in the Olympics at Paris 2020. What the fuck? Hey Jordan, how you doing, buddy? Hey Cheryl. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is nuts. It's amazing that it's still happening. But here's my favorite cartoon right here.
Miss Woman, do you feel ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready, David. There are just so many. I've never competed against her before, no.
She's not exactly your average trans athlete.
Well, what is an
Okay. Heather Swanson is actually joining us now. Miss Swanson, how does it feel to be competing today?
That came out like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, that was perfect. The boxer will probably be the star of the sequel to Snow White. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, his medal and shit. I think they give. I gotta look into that, but I know that they proved that boxer wasn't at all in any way female. There were 2 males, transgender guys in there, and one had her fucking the shit beat out of her, basically, by these pro boxing pieces of shit men that sucked at fighting men, so they decide to go beat up women. And there it is. If you have somebody that comes up to you and says, you know what, I'm going to be a female, I'm a male now, biological, and I'm going to go and run and play or do some kind of sport against women's sport, right? There's some people that were paid actors to do this. Dylan Mulvaney is one of them, paid actor. And they caught him doing it, getting money from BlackRock through that fucking chain of money to confuse people. Depopulation, hoard the rest for themselves. Okay, always keep that in your head because that's basically what's going on. But we're gonna move on here. That was I love this.
Now that I can compete as female.
That lady's just like so fucking funny. But here's some hope, okay?
I still believe that what adults do is adults bid after the children and trying to push this gender ideology and this queer theory on children, transing children, indoctrinating children. I believe this is why when you look at these polls, you see the support for LGBTQ rights declining.
Yeah, that's Gays Against Groomers Found. And these are what they call Trans Awareness Day panel discussions. So these are people, let me get to it, sorry. These are men and women, or women and men, or whatever. It's hard to tell these days. Well, in certain cases, of course, you can tell. It's pretty obvious. But what they're doing is they've the indoctrination, and then they said, wait a second, that's not me. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I was going through a fucking phase. Here's a good response that I'm going to show you here. Is it this one? I think it's this one right here, yeah. And this panel right here, let me just show you. When they were younger, they just, they're just having a hard time. Like I said, there's a lot of variables and a lot of certain attributes, not attributes, or things that kind of certain types of things that affect who we are. As I said earlier, it could be our immediate surroundings, experience. We don't know what causes this. Some of it is internal. There are people that I know that are just kind of this way and they just want to be that way. That's fine. But at least give them a chance to grow and find themselves first.
20s, I had substance
to make people believe that, oh, you have to affirm these kids. That's the nice thing to do. But long term, well, I think you guys know.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Wagner. In my early 20s, I had substance use disorders and mental health issues. I transitioned from male to female. I detransitioned upon sobering up and getting to see a psychologist that was not an activist. The most powerful part of this documentary for me personally was when I talked about Jung's shadow self. Because I think a lot of society, and especially the trans rights movement, detransition is a reality that they're not ready to see or face or accept quite yet. So, yeah. Thank you.
My name's Estella Suarez Hamilton. I gave an introduction already, so.
And detransitioned around 6 months ago when I was 20.
Hey everyone, my name is Laura Becker. I was in the documentary. My hair was looking a little messed up at the time. I had dyed it too many, thank you, for a little while it was. Yeah, some of you may know me from Twitter, Funk God Artist.
And of 12 to 16.
And I've been speaking out about my experience for not much longer than a year now, since I was 17.
They're just babies. Most of these people are just babies, except for the guy. And some of, like I said, some of this stuff, again, I understand that there are people that are out there, right? Men or women, that just have an attraction to the same sex. I get it. And then there's people that are out there that have an attraction to both. But leave the fucking kids alone. And here's an example. These people are just destroyed. They've been, how many of these kids are on medication? I guarantee there's a few of them and a bunch of others. It's a program. It's a cycle. It's really fucking sad. It's really fucking sad.
Physical and a physiological advantage competing in a collegiate sport against a biological female. Isn't that true?
There's not a lot of research on it, but it's certainly debatable.
You think it's debatable?
I think it's debatable.
You don't think? Think that a biological male has an advantage every time competing against a biological female? Is that your testimony?
No, I think defined the way you defined it, yes, I would agree with you.
So you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So why does the NCAA, why do you, your job is to promote biological males to compete against non-transgender biological females?
Over the course of
right there, nobody brings this up in this case. I've listened to this. This is today, earlier today. So the reason why I'm discussing this, and the biggest reason why I'm discussing this, guy's telling you there are 5 cases out there that they're to get sued. That's the fucking problem. There should be a fucking law. Fuck you. If you disagree with me, fuck off. Fuck off. Because I'm telling you right now, he's basically asking for help. Or he's a part of it. He agreed. He doesn't think that biological men should be compete against women in sports. Maybe, I'm going to say darts. I'm going to say bowling. Not golf yet, but it's getting close. And a few other little kind of sports that are out there. But you could not, for the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. She would be dead. A pulling guard coming at her at 22 miles an hour, 310 pounds, and what is she, maybe 145 pounds? Something's going to break. Right? This 340-pound lineman going over 20 miles an hour, running right into her. I can't. It's amazing to what's happening. What's amazing to me is that there's this fucking conversation. That's why I brought this. That's why I'm doing this right now. And hopefully, we have 34, 33, whatever days left until Trump's inaugurated. And I'm telling everybody, pay attention, report everything, keep yourselves aware. These people with these drones, I did a show earlier about the drones. It was bullshit. They're not going to tell you anything. No, not darts. There's a vast difference between male and female that gives women a disadvantage. Oh no! One of the biggest competitions that happen. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, women are made a certain way because they carry a child, so their base has to be a little bit bigger, right? More muscle in certain areas to maneuver 2 people. It's fucking brilliant, in my opinion, according how God put all that together. Impressive. Yeah, but there is a look it up. This girl, blonde, short haired, beat this guy in one of the biggest matches in Europe, like bunch of cheering, beer, and all kinds of stuff. And she beat him. But I mean, it was kind of rare. So not all the time, but it happened. But yeah, the girls are competing with men for knife throwing at some of these knife throwing bars and shit, which I gotta go check that out again. It's pretty fucking cool. Anyway, I'm gonna kind of leave you with this in regards to what's going on here.
Athletes from high-level women's events, including the Olympics. Eva Pilgrim has the story.
This morning, the international governing body over track and field announcing a ban that prevents transgender athletes from participating in female events after going through male puberty.
Over biological women.
Testosterone threshold for athletes with differences of sexual development, or DSD. The new requirements affecting about a dozen athletes, including South African Olympic champion Caster Semenya, who would need to complete 6 months of hormone-suppressing treatment to race at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Effectively barring trans athletes like NCAA title winner Leah Thomas from competing in female events at.
Good. Yes, thank you. A little bit of light to shine. Feel sorry for any of them. Any. It's this, in this particular world, there are women that have boobs, a vagina, right? And then there are men that have those two things come together and make you. How did you get here? From a guy? No. From your mom. There's just stop. Just stop. It's not working. Nobody believe. If you believe, I've seen it at school and at other places, work. How the fuck do you allow your child or your friend or whoever to prance around in this delusion, this fantasy? It's amazing to me. If you want to, dress like that or but just leave the kids alone. I don't, whatever. But once you start doing the underage 18 stuff to these kids, I have a problem. I don't fucking care. But just leave the fucking kids alone. I will, dude, for sure. Yeah. I think it's Brave. Brave just fucks me up every time I get on it. If I'm just on YouTube, everything zips right. Give your mom a hug and say, thanks, Mom, for bringing me into this world. Because if it wasn't for you and your dad doing a little work, just a little work, then you wouldn't be here. That's all. That's all you have to know. That's all you have to know. Is just give your mom a hug and say, Mom, thanks for bringing me here. I'm glad I get to experience these things and just around, and I can do. Can't believe the NCAA isn't getting it, but I understand why, because he's begging for help. He's being sued. He can't say out loud. He can't fucking just say, look, I need help. I'm being sued. He's telling. There are 5 federal cases about this shit, and I don't want the NCAA to be fucking sued. And it's going to change when Trump gets in office. There's going to be a lot of fucking changes. There's going to be some rebels out there for sure. There's, but it's not going to be. I'm not. They'll be, oh, God, I'm so, I can't believe. I recommend this book here, right here. I'm going to recommend this book because I'm still going through it back and forth. This book right here. All right. It's just brilliant. It's about medicine. No. It's about how we care for each other. My ancestors had extensive process of caring for each other. We used our kahunas, plants, other natural means that were given to us on the islands, and this has been around for years and years and years. But anyway, it's just something that you need to know that we all should be doing. We should, this big farm and big, yeah, go get some tallow, go get some lard, people. Aloha, thank you for being here. I have the kindergartner read Brenda's beaver needs a barber. All right, talk to you later. I'll try to call you. I'll call you later, Stork. All right, bye, dude. I'm making some potatoes right.